7 locations across London, 7 massive prizes, hundreds of fans running around the streets of London, and 1 massive YouTuber. I guess 2 if you count Cal. Yeah, alright lads, welcome to this week's video, and Monday was fun, wasn't it? If you weren't aware, Callux, the man who recently made me sob, was hosting a treasure hunt all across London with actual real prizes on Monday. By the time this video's out, he will have uploaded his video of the treasure hunt and everything, so if you want to watch his one, there is a very small chance that I might make a sneak guest appearance in his video. Well, Cal's dropped his video, and I've got some amazing news for you all. My chin made it into the video. I sent this man about 10 minutes of footage and he uses 1 second of me turning my head. I love you too, Cal. So if you're interested in finding out just how much of a massive internet celebrity I am, then you can go watch that video. Watch mine first though. But anyway, in today's video I'm going to be telling you the story of the emotional roller coaster that was walking around London looking for those bastard locks. Infuriating. That would probably be a good way to describe it. So to begin this story, Monday was my first proper day of half term, so my original plan was to sleep in, maybe get a little bit of work done, and then inevitably watch the entire Fred trilogy. But then when I got up at around midday, the very first thing I saw when I checked Twitter was this. If I was to do a treasure hunt today in London for real prizes, who would really come? Like legit, who would come? Like 4 to 6 PM-ish. Now my first thought was, oh, that sounds like a bit of wholesome fun. My second thought, however, was the idea of staying in bed watching all the Fred films instead. But then my third thought was that there were some tasty views to be had out of this. I could already see my How Callux Won Me Insert Prize Here title and thumbnail. So I asked on Twitter who was going and a few people said yes. Not everyone though. Fuck you, Sophia. I figured that there were enough people going who I sort of vaguely knew that eventually I'd run into someone who I could stick with. Also, I live about half an hour from the square that he'd highlighted. So I thought, screw it. I'd get my ass down there for a bit. I recorded this just before I left. Okay, so here is the situation. The time right now is 18 minutes past 3. Earlier today, Callux tweeted saying that he's having a treasure hunt in London. I've been debating pretty much all day whether to go or not. I've been asking people if they want to go with me. No one does because I'm a loner. But you know what? There's definitely some tasty views to be had from this, like definitely. So I've gone and done a big epic YOLO and I'm gonna go. So there I was leaving my house and going to London, not having a clue that by the end of that night I would have met a bunch of new people and I also would have got a picture with Callux. And I'll be honest, right? My hopes weren't high. I sort of knew some of the people, but not really that well, and knowing how socially awkward I am, I was pretty much ready to spend the entire evening searching for treasure in Covent Garden by myself. Normal Monday night, really. However, my low confidence didn't stop me from threatening Callux on all of my social platforms and also harassing him in the DMs. Cal, I'm really sorry. Callum McGinley isn't ready. The time is now 23 minutes past 4. I've got about 10 minutes to get inside the square, which is just over the bridge. Oh wait, no, I'm actually already in the square. There might be some stuff hidden in the river, I don't know. So at this point, I was strolling around London. I'd just got into the area that was highlighted, and first off, I didn't realise how genuinely vast the area was. Like, I pretty quickly realised that that highlighted square, it would have taken like over an hour to walk from one side of it to the other. It was about 4:30. There were no clues that had been posted yet, so I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. So I just walked around aimlessly for a bit until I got bored, so I went and sat down in Covent Garden and just waited for some clues to be posted. There were a few people around me with these really fat DSLR vlogging cameras, and I was pretty sure that they were there for the same reason as me, like they looked like YouTubers. I didn't say anything to them though, because they could have just been tourists that were taking photos and they were just innocently walking around London and they had absolutely no idea what a Callux was. I was getting pretty bored and also pretty cold sitting in Covent Garden, so just before 5 o'clock when the clues were about to be posted, I got up and had a bit of a wander. The time is now 4 minutes to 5, 4 minutes till the game starts. Sorry if you can't hear me, I'm talking quietly because shy. I'll gonna win some treasure, boys. The clock ticked over to 5. He said the game was going to start then, but still nothing had been posted, so I just kept on walking. I had no idea where I was going. Still nothing was posted, but not to worry guys, because even without clues, I was already figuring out my genius plan to find this treasure. You see, I reckon it's probably going to be more likely down like a little alleyway like this. I was hanging around in Covent Garden for ages, but it was so busy that like there's no way in hell Cal's even getting in there to put stuff, so I reckon it's going to be probably somewhere around here. Complete and utter waffle. After walking down many a dodgy alleyway risking my life, I saw that Cal tweeted this. You have to film yourself trying to find the treasure. Deadly serious, you have to film. Start now, I want all the footage. Yes! Jokes on all of you that are just gonna start videoing now. I've been videoing this entire thing since I left the house. At that point, the game hadn't started and I was already winning. I knew that that treasure was mine. After seeing that, I was absolutely determined to record every single step of the way. Like, I'd already recorded quite a bit, but I wanted to record everything to just maximize my chances of getting in this video. So the first thing I did was send him a video message on Twitter. Callux, mate, I'm out here freezing my nut off in London trying to look for your stuff. If I don't win something, then I'm going to throw hands. And then continued to film myself looking through plant pots in Covent Garden in case he'd put anything in there. Is there anything in these boxes? I I mean, I didn't get weird looks. I was walking around the city videoing everything. Give me a pair of sunglasses, arms twice the size of mine, and also a sub cam, and I would be London's answer to Casey Neistat. Surely there's got to be something down here. Callux, mate, you're missing a trick if there's nothing down here. Nope. I mean, there's a bottle. Is that treasure? The instructions of what we had to do still hadn't come out, so at this point I was genuinely starting to think, like, maybe there are no clues. Maybe he's literally just said, right, here's the square, you can go find stuff in it. At this point, I genuinely thought that's what it might have been. I tried to live stream on YouTube for a bit, but the 4G signal said no, so instead I just walked back to Covent Garden and I watched Patrick Stewart balance on a ladder. A few minutes later, however, the instructions to the game finally got posted, so I legged it to the nearest bench, I sat down and I read out the instructions, and I also kind of read the clues. I'll explain how dumb I was in a minute. For anyone who hasn't already seen, here are the instructions that he put on Twitter. I'll let you just pause the video now if you haven't already read them. Once I read that entire page, my mindset was to straight away put down my phone and start searching for the clues. Because in my head, before the instructions came out, I'd kind of already decided that this was it and that you have to just search for random stuff inside the circle. I managed to not notice the fact that there was a map attached to the tweet with all of the locations where they were and clues for each of the locations. The clues were there. The clues were right there, but I was that blind that I read the first thing, the instructions that I just read out to you. I put my phone down and I started looking through plant pots again. How am I that dumb? I guess just to embarrass myself even further, here are some more clips of me looking through alleyways. That smells bad. I looked in that bin for no reason. Alright, we out here, we're looking for these locks. I better win this. If I don't win, then I will be very unhappy. Spoiler alert, I'm not happy. So just purely by chance, I did manage to find myself in the right place. Covent Garden actually was one of the locations. Not that I knew that, but still. Now, I'm pretty sure by the time I got back here, this lock would have already been taken, because it's probably one of the busier locations on the map. But I could have at least looked at the clue and not just walked around the building like an absolute lemming. You alright, Cal? We out here. We out here looking for your treasure. I 100% deserved all the weird looks I got. Been about the 6th time since I've walked up this street. No clue where I'm going. So as I walked down that street for about the 6th time, I walked past this group of guys that were stood on the corner, all with their hoods up, all looking down at their phones. And I'm not gonna lie, right? I thought I was about to witness a drug deal. But then I heard one of them say Callux. Now my first instinct was to go over to these guys and ask where the f to look for these locks. But I didn't want to annoy them, so instead I went and stood against a wall that was kind of near them on the street, just so that I could sort of try to hear what they were saying. It was definitely weirder. I should have just said hi. But you know, big alpha GW, not scared of anyone, so eventually I went up to them and I said, are you guys here for Callux? They said yes, and we spoke for a bit. It was at this point that one of them pulled up the map that showed all the locations on it and started reading out the clues. So I sort of just stood there and nodded along, pretending that I realised that that was there. On the inside, I was kicking myself. They were all in agreement that by this time, most of the locks had probably been taken, apart from maybe a few. We doubted the one up at Madame Two Swords had been taken just because it was so far away from the other one, so we thought that one might have been still there. The other one that wasn't too far that we thought might not have been taken yet was Temple. So these guys seemed pretty sound. I asked them if they wanted to go down to Temple with me just to see if it was there. None of them really seemed that arsed, apart from this one guy. His name was Aaron. Aaron agreed to walk to Temple with me. Alright guys, we've met Aaron here. You alright? Alright. Okay, so we think that most of them are gone, but there's still one down in Temple that might not have been found, so we're heading down there. I wasted so much time just looking in like boxes and like, you know, did you see those like the boxes where like the plants were? Yeah, I was thinking like he might have like hidden them or something. You can just see how dumb he thought I was. I don't know why I told him that. So we walked down to Temple together, and big brain energy was present because from reading the clue, I'm hidden outside something that is black and blue outside the station where old becomes new. I thought it might have been the tube sign because that's blue, but it's also red. So looking back on it, I wasn't actually being smart. I was just being an idiot again. Just as we were getting close to Temple, this massive group walked in the other direction past us, and they told us that Temple had already been taken. Now I recognised a couple of people in this group. I mainly recognised a girl called Harley because I'd actually DM'd her earlier asking her where she was because I was a bit bored. No, for real, we don't have a chance at this point. There's one like right over at the other side near Madame Two Swords, but like
the Madame Two Swords one, and
yeah,
then it was the Russell Square one.
Yeah,
they were the only two we thought were possible.
No, the Covent Garden one is long gone.
Love that for
Oh, we're done out here. Also, before we go any further, I want to say I'm really sorry to a girl called Holly because I told her that I'd meet her at Temple when we were on the way down there, but then obviously we didn't get that far because we met up with this other group, so yeah, I'm sorry, Holly. There was like 20 of us and we all just took over this bus and went up to Russell Square. Russell Square was one of the last places that we thought might have still had the lock in it. We weren't sure. At this point, when we were sat on the bus, I started a live stream. We're live. We're live, boys.
Oh, God,
yeah.
I'm live.
No, I'm on a YouTube live.
Oh my God,
yeah. Yeah, that is a shout. Like, how are we splitting the prize if we all find it? What the is going on? Basically, we're looking. Oh my, look at how white my hair is. You could blind someone with that. We got off the bus and walked into Russell Square as this massive group, like London was shook. straight up, London was terrified of us. The clue for this one was head to the centre at your pleasure. One man's trash is another man's treasure. So we, just watch this. Alright boys, so we are now in Russell Square.
One man's trash is another
Okay,
man's
it's gonna be in a trash can.
Why is he obsessed with
Guys, we're gonna go in a bin, yay. Well, who's digging to the bottom of them then to find it?
What is it with bins?
I think he just has a bit of an obsession with bins.
Someone said it represents a career, but it wasn't. Oh, I was going to say represents.
Oh, bins. Is it in that one? No. And you lot probably all laughed at me for looking through the bins earlier. Like, I was onto something. There were also these big fountains in the middle of Russell Square, so you know what that means on a cold October night.
Who dares me to run through the fountain? Does anyone?
Oh, go on then. Do it for the vlog. Do it for the vlog.
Do it.
I'll shout out like all your socials in this vlog if you do it. Oh, go on. Oh. Go on. That is thick. Go on, mate.
Not in there, is it?
What? There's not a chance it's in there. Go on, Harley. Harley, your socials are up on the screen right now. You deserve it for how genuinely fearless you were. We were done out there, straight up, like that. We had no chance at that point. We were pretty certain that all of the locks had been taken. We basically gave up. I was ready to admit defeat and go home. I think we all were, but just before I went, one of the girls in our group said that we should all go to Soho because Cal was there. I didn't question them, but I also kind of did because I checked all of Cal's socials and there was absolutely nothing to imply that he was in Soho. I had absolutely no idea if this girl had been told that by other people who had seen him in Soho or whether she was just using her stan Twitter senses to know that's where Cal was. Not a clue. But either way, I had no plans for that night, and also Soho has strip clubs, so I thought I might be able to, like, you know, peer through the window. It was 7 PM. It was 7 PM. Shut up, Tom. I stuck with the group on the off chance that Cal might have actually been where they said he was. So we walked around this corner onto this little back street, and in the distance, I could see a guy wearing a red hoodie. He was stood next to his car. He had an entire team of people around him. One of them had this massive, like, big TV looking camera. It was Callux. He was actually in Soho. A wild Callux has been spotted. Way! These Twitter stans have a sixth sense for where YouTubers are. Her senses just told her that Cal was right over there, so we walked down there and lo and behold, he was right there. Magic. Now, I'd be lying if I said I suddenly wasn't a little bit nervous. I don't want to lick his ass too hard here, but Callux is genuinely one of my favourite YouTubers. I've genuinely loved the guy ever since the days of inappropriate Teletubbies. He was one of the people that made me want to start YouTube in the first place. So I suddenly felt really nervous that I was going to embarrass myself. But don't worry guys, it's all good. I definitely didn't say that one of his friends was Randolph when he wasn't Randolph. I think that's Randolph. Oh, it's Randolph. I'm so dumb. Seriously though, it was really nice meeting him. We sort of just chilled for a bit in like this big group with Cal. Now I wanted to get a clip of Cal saying something for my vlog. I planned out something that I was gonna say, but then when I went to say it came out quite wrong. This is what I said to him. Yo Cal, I've got a question for you for this video, right? KSI or Logan Paul, who wins? Solid. I mean, it was a bit of a stupid question, wasn't it? What I was planning on asking is, what's your prediction for the fight? Because then that allows him to explain how he thinks JJ's going to finish Logan. Because there's not a chance he's going to say that he thinks Logan's going to win. But it came out wrong, so what I said was KSI or Logan Paul, so obviously he's going to say KSI, obviously everyone around me is going to say KSI. But anyway, just before he went, we took this big group photo where I look absolutely massive, and then I also got this individual photo with Cal where I don't look quite as massive. And then after Cal went, me and some people that I met that night, we went to Mackey's together. Shout out to Jenny, Louise and Aaron, you guys are heroes. And that was pretty much that. I want to thank you guys all very much for watching. I know this video's probably been really long. I'm sorry, I'm already dreading how long it's going to take to edit this one. Hopefully I'm in Cal's video. It's actually due to come out today as I'm filming this, so I could have just waited until I saw if I was in it or not, but I decided not to because I wanted to get this over with. I said that as if I don't enjoy filming videos. I do. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far in the video, then please do drop a like on the video and also subscribe if you're new. That would honestly mean the world to me. Like I said, thank you for watching and I'll see you guys later. See ya.
Yeah, yeet. Thank you for watching Tom GW's video. Please, subscribe for more clout, but only if you have a big wang. Hit the like button if you want to get into heaven, but only if you can spin a fidget spinner on your nose for 5 seconds. Follow all the socials linked down below if you want to become a disciple of Tom GW. Goodbye. See you in heaven.